Hey everybody, starting a little early. It's going to be an interesting show, um, but thank you guys all for tuning in. This is going to be a great show today. We're live on Twitter, Twitch, StreamMe, Mixer, um, Periscope, YouTube, so it should be really exciting. A lot of great topics. I've got some audio from the woman that Sylvia Garcia sexually assaulted that isn't talked much about in the media. This woman really she really is making some sincere statements. I'll post the video up later so you guys can look at it and, make your own opinions. Oh, so I'm just setting up here. We're gonna go about 20 minutes before we go live on AM 950. If you guys message me, I'm happy to respond. Happy to, I'd look at your comments, concerns, criticism. I appreciate it all. I'm going to go live on other social media in a little bit. And thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. And, it's really been a blast doing the show. Ooh, excuse me. Philip Bryant's going to be in today. Chris Carmona he went out of town, so could be wild. Okay, also going live momentarily on Facebook. I'll be down in a second, okay? Okay, bye. Okay, so we're live on Facebook. I'll be back in a minute or two. Should be live on Twitter. I'm gonna run down and get the guests. So we live on Twitter? We are. We're live on everything. Okay. I'll be back, folks. This most important thing here. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, got the guest. Wendy, she's a gold medalist. Philip should be here in a little bit. Philip Bryant. Just getting started. Oh. Okay, let's try to that down. Okay. Okay. So for Philip. Phone. Time. Oh, guys, you gotta check this stuff out. What's going on? Okay. Itchy beard. Oh. Hey guys, you're just setting up. It's gonna be a little bit. But I got some real wild stuff. Talk to you guys a bit about Sylvia Garcia. The news isn't talking about this very much.
My final thought is that this situation between me and Sylvia. This situation between me and Sylvia Garcia, this was not an isolated incident like the Brett Kavanaugh, Christine Blasey Ford situation. Mine was in the workplace and outside the workplace. She just continued, any little opportunity she had, and this was a pattern of events. It was a series of events, and they're all documented. And again, my grievance is still open.
Wild. I gotta grab the other guest. I'll be right back, folks.
Hey, Phil, you here? Okay. Grab a seat right there, Wendy. I'm gonna go grab Philip. I'll be right back.
Okay, what? Right here?
We're live on, right there's perfect.
Okay.
There is social media going on. It's all pretty
Okay.
cool.
Okay. Hi. How you doing? Wendy.
Philip, good to see
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Taking over Eric's spot.
Okay.
This is the Philip Paul Bryant show now. Hey. What's up, Chris, brother? Jim? Yeah.
So do you know what we're doing?
I don't
Because
know.
I don't.
Yeah, I think we're talking about your book, right?
Nope, it's diving. Springboard and platform diving.
Gotcha. Is that what your book is about?
It's not. I don't have a book.
Okay.
It's I coach
Gotcha.
at Texas A&M University.
Cool.
And I coach a junior team, 18 and under, and then I help with the college team as well.
I was just keeping your seat warm.
Cool. Tell everybody hi.
It's on Twitch and Twitter and Periscope and every social media little thing you could think of. We're live there. Oh, even Tony Busby joined us, who announced he's running for mayor.
Is that the next mayor?
It very potentially is the next mayor. That's a good stuff to talk about. I actually am a big fan of Busby. Big fan of Busby. I think he's got the right personality to do
You
it.
think you can give me an invitation to the Christmas party this year?
Oh man, have you heard anything about Busby's Christmas parties?
No.
He had Snoop
Certainly
Dogg.
not.
He
Oh,
had
no
Snoop
way.
Dogg at his.
Fantastic.
He had Snoop.
Oh my
He had
gosh.
Snoop Dogg at his.
Fantastic. Oh, he's great.
Wild. Oh man.
Is he coming back?
No, it's not this time. No Snoop Dogg this time. But it was a really good Christmas party. Really good Christmas party. Oh man, I'm glad I joined in. We can talk about that. It's a good thing to talk about. Okay, I got all the breakdown of the city of the
Early voting?
from the voting. I do have the breakdown. Got that a little bit. I got this video about Sylvia Garcia's, the woman that says Sylvia Garcia sexually molested her. Very fascinating. Have you seen this, Philip?
Mm-mm.
My final thought is that this situation between me and Sylvia Garcia, this was not an isolated incident like the Brett Kavanaugh, Christine Blasey Ford situation. Mine was in the workplace and outside the workplace.
So she assaulted her?
She just continued.
She's saying Sylvia Garcia sexually assaulted her.
And this was a pattern of events. It was a series of events, and they're all documented. And again, my grievance is still open, and Sylvia Garcia still has not responded to sexual harassment. The sexual harassment that I wrote back on July 29th, September 30th, whenever the grievances were filed, of 96.
So, but the thing is with these allegations,
And
they're
mine's all
pretty
documented,
wild.
okay? So,
And we'll go more into it on the show. They're very wild. It's saying that that basically what Sylvia Garcia did is while she was a municipal judge, she had a clerk. That woman there was working for her. This is like 30 years ago, and she went in and was asking her, "You want to see the rash on my leg?" And the woman's like, "No, I don't really want to see the rash on your leg. I'm
thanks, though.
okay. I'm okay. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not
Appreciate
a doctor. Appreciate it. Yeah, I understand.
Thanks or no thanks?
Yeah, thanks but no thanks. But then, lo and behold, she proceeds to take off her pants. And that's crazy, and nothing's happened about it. And that woman's just really upset. She's made complaints.
Second opinion.
She did. That's right.
Democratic system, man.
What a second opinion. So how's your bookstore going, Philip?
It's going okay, man. It's going okay. So, you know, cheap book, lots of variety. So Saturday we put a big book speaker out and start playing music and stuff like that. Attract additional people. Got little signs we put out. Headphones.
Okay, thank you.
There's also a headphone volume. Yeah, I think it's going to be headphone volumes here. You can adjust it. Whenever you take it out, be sure to grab this part right here.
Okay.
I've lost about a dozen.
Oh no. Okay, we won't do
It's
that.
okay. It's okay. And we
Yeah,
got
right.
our lovely engineer, our producer, Shannon. She's in another room. She'll be kind of telling us what to do as we start going live in about 6 minutes.
What's your full name? Your full name?
Wendy LaRue, Lerew. And it's Team A&M Diving.
I see it. Yeah, it comes up
Yeah, okay.
diving, and another one comes
Oh,
up
it does?
Olympics.
Okay.
You were in the Olympics?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
a
that's
couple
pretty.
times, yeah. Back in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
this is going to be awesome. I really do appreciate you joining us, Wendy.
Oh no, this is a great opportunity. I'd love to talk about my program a little bit. I'm trying to build it. Like I've been doing it for a while, but we have a little gap as far as how many kids. I've had a couple of kids in Olympic trials last year. Excuse me.
Mr. Jay LaRue, is that your husband?
Yes, yeah. He's the head Texas A&M coach.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was a
Texas,
two-time Olympic coach.
And the Texans are actually, they're doing something. We might go somewhere, huh?
Yeah, at Texas A&M, you mean?
Oh, well,
Yeah, he's A&M.
Oh, he's A&M?
Yeah, diving coach as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, not football. I coach the football. No, just kidding. I got y'all confused.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so we coach. I coach for the U.S. national team as well, junior national team, and he was like a two-time Olympic coach, and he wasn't my coach, but so I was Olympian and been running a program there for about 8 years at Texas A&M, and it's 18 and under, so junior kids, we call that junior diving, and they're the ones that are getting ready for the Olympic trials and getting ready for college scholarships, that sort of thing.
So kind of how we do this is there's going to be 4 segments. The first segment, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit and bring Philip in, and we might bring you in we're going to go over different topics of like general stuff that goes on. About the third segment is going to be when we're going to focus on you and all the stuff that you've done, and then we're going to kind of tie it in with the last segment, kind of tie in what you've done, kind of summarize what all we've done, what all we talked about.
Super.
It's kind of we'll start.
I'll just keep my mouth shut till I'm spoken to.
Yeah. That's you can feel free to chime in. Just don't talk. We try not to talk over each other. Try to be very respective, and try not to be too angry. We'll have our own. We'll have our own mind. This stuff with politics lately. It's like it's just so much bad energy.
Yeah,
You have your own opinions. I respect anyone's opinion.
That stuff's going on. I mean, I think he's, like not politically correct or anything like that. He's not. He's a wild one. Trump is, but he's certainly moving and shaking things.
I voted for Trump. He did not. But that's okay.
Yeah, I did, and
that's okay. I have daughters.
Really,
I can understand.
Says some silly things, and he's not very articulate for someone that he's a president. But he's getting it done. So I think that's what matters most.
Some people think he doesn't try.
He's quite brilliant. I mean, he's a brilliant businessman. Let's face it.
I think he's an excellent marketer. I think.
Yeah. Relative.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, he got something like $3 billion of free media whenever he first ran for president. That in alone, he already won. It didn't matter whether he became president or not.
Yeah.
It's like someone gives him $3 billion free.
He and all his friends, he's got his own.
About 2 minutes? I've got about 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, Shane. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Shannon. We're about to go. Another minute or so.
Okay.
Okay. Doing the Topo Chico. Okay. Okay, we're all going nice and strong.
Reports of the U.S. and is ready to go. For the talk about six. It's going to talk Olympics, U.S. Olympics. That's pretty cool. We got our Olympic champion here.
Yeah, Wendy.
We're here on the Eric Big Show. This is King PRC 948, 950. Keep listening up to 740. 740, 950.
We're about to start, folks. Get ready. This is going to be a wild one. We got a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. We really do. Oh man, yikes! It's gonna be a fiery hour, folks. So get ready. They're about to start. Just in a minute or so. I appreciate your comments.
You gonna be encouraging people calling today?
Oh yeah, we do have calls. Uh-oh.
You should contact your attorney for obtain advice with respect to any particular issue at hand. The opinions expressed on the Eric Big Show are that of the host and guests, and do not reflect the opinions of this station or on the web.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. We're back. We're back again. Back again, folks. I'm being a little too loud. Producer Shan's getting mad at me. I've already got in trouble. Just got here, folks.
Back for more.
Back for more. Philip Paul Bryant is riding shotgun with me, and our special guest, we have an Olympic champion. Wendy, was it LaRue. I'm horrible.
LeBron. Come on, this isn't the Lakers.
I know.
Or Cleveland or Miami. I can keep going, right?
Well, the Rockets have been doing so bad. Didn't they finally win one?
Yeah.
Finally won one. Oh my goodness, they've been doing so bad. Okay,
They're trying to convince Milwaukee that we deserve a new player. Who's that other player they're trying to get?
I hadn't been paying attention to that. I've been crying when I'm sitting at the seats watching them play. That's what I've been doing, is crying whenever I see Harden was out 2 games and CP3 was out 2 games. The only game we won before last night was with the Lakers, when it was just a downright brawl. It looked more like it was hockey than it was the Rockets and basketball. But okay, so let's go into it. Hurricane Michael caused $2 billion of damage. That's what the reports are saying from the
Wow.
So it's going to take a while for people in Florida to really recover from that, and when dealing with insurance companies, it's often difficult, and I'm sure a lot of them are finding out. We had in Houston a storm during Halloween. But it wasn't anywhere near as bad as the poor people in Florida and with Michael. But I'm sure a lot of people in
yeah, we're getting a lot of pockets of flooding too. I know some people there in the Astrodome that kind of got stuck, and people, I don't know. Every time it floods, people still try to drive through the water. I don't know why. It's like
Halloween was pretty active in my neighborhood, though, I have to say.
Right.
The kids got out there in the rain and the tornadoes.
The kids don't care anything about any rain. They're not gonna let that stop them.
But it seems, though, every time that there's a holiday in Houston, we get a flood. Like we had the Tax Day
flood,
Memorial Day flood.
16, yeah.
I mean, we've been flooded for like for the last 5 years. Every year we get a flood, with the pinnacle being Hurricane Harvey.
Yes.
So my question is, we got Tony Busby, who's a multi-millionaire attorney that has some of the best Christmas parties out there, folks. I'm just telling you, the best Christmas parties that ever were.
Let's see if I get on the list this year, man. That'd be. I can't really vouch for the Christmas parties, man. I seen it on your social media. I saw you go live at the Snoop Dogg concert, but unless I'm gonna personally get an invitation, man, I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like the party isn't cool unless Philip Paul Bryant is there. That's just my perspective. Maybe I'm being biased,
Me
But-
too, actually.
But you know, back
I'll
in
serve
high
the hors
school, the
d'oeuvres.
party wasn't cool unless the coolest people in the school showed up, man.
And he's wrong for not inviting me, Philip. But my question is, I went on a tangent about his Christmas party because they really are all that in a bag of chips. But he decided he's going to run for mayor. He decided, and he called it way early. Like, you don't even have the current elections happen yet.
Yeah.
Is this just some rich guy being crazy? Is this like a serious campaign? What do you think, Philip?
It seemed pretty sincere. I watched the Isaiah Factor. I watched the Isaiah Factor interview, and Isaiah asked him the exact same question. Are you serious about this? And his response seemed pretty sincere. I mean, the rest of the interview was pretty casual, pretty funny, pretty jokingly. But when they specifically asked him, was he going to actually run for mayor? Should people take him serious? I heard a change of tune in his response. So that tells me the guy's giving it some pretty serious thought.
Is he an improvement from Turner, or is he good, bad, ugly? What do we think?
Well, from the perspective of just analyzing him, you're able to kind of get a track record based on Turner. You know, he's had 4 years as mayor, 3 years as mayor as of now, 26 years as a state representative. So we can actually give him a proper report card. Whether you give him a or a D or a F, you have the ability to do that based on an actual track record. So with Tony Busby, you don't necessarily have that track record. It's just kind of based on what his view is, what his vision is for the city. And so it's almost an unfair comparison as far as giving them both a report card, because one is just based on ideas, and the other you can actually say, nah, you didn't deliver on this, you didn't fix the potholes, you didn't lower the taxes, got in a huge fight with the firefighters. I just had to throw that in there.
Well, and we can go into the
I had
firefighters.
to throw that in there, right? But to answer your question, I don't necessarily. It's hard to say if it'll be an improvement, because it's not necessarily a track record to run on. Running the business is different from running the municipal and the government entity.
Well, but he makes a pitch that, look, I don't need the job. I'm not gonna take the money. I'm doing this to make Houston like the top of the city that it could be. I go to all these other places. They talk about how much they love London, how much they love New York, but they don't say such fondness with Houston. And I've had enough. I'm gonna change that. That's kind of that, and it's early, and maybe it's eccentric for him to say something like that. Who knows? But I mean, is there something to be said about that?
I don't know. I mean, if he's willing to give me the $235,000 a year, that he's apparently going to have some sort of voter lottery, I probably have a different perspective. I'd probably be a little bit more optimistic if I had a $235,000 in the bank account. But
Let's say.
Have you been okay? Have you been paying attention to this any, Wendy?
You know what? On the national level, I have.
Well, we'll get back to the national level. There's a whole lot of great stuff in store for you folks.
she's got to tell us how we can participate in the Olympics.
We're gonna get to Wendy. Trust me.
We'll
be
I've
back.
been working out, man. These muscles aren't just for show.
I know, Philip. I
A
know.
little bit for show.
We'll be back, folks. We'll be back in
The gun
a
show.
few. The gun show.
We should switch the name. I like that. The gun show. There it is.
That's funny. It is. They do play Big Gun. That was their choice. The Big Gun, the gun show with Eric Dick. Okay. Oh boy.
It's like, which way is
What's
the beach?
up, Ronald? Ronald, you still fixing, messing up people's Apple computers?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know about his response on the. What he's gonna do with the $235,000 salary. He wasn't gonna take a salary.
That's kind of wild.
You say you're gonna
A lottery.
donate it to a charity.
He's gonna have a lottery, give it to some random person.
Give it to the voters.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Have the lottery drawing. Everyone who voted for me gets to participate in the lottery drawing. Wait, is he still listening in over there? I don't want to mess up my chances to get to the
Yeah.
Christmas party.
Right.
That was pretty awesome, man. Coming there with my little Tupperware, man. Like,
It was really a good
take
Christmas
mine to
party.
go. I don't really.
Really?
I'm a connoisseur of Christmas parties. It was by far the best one I've ever gone to.
Fantastic.
Christmas
What
party
was the-
connoisseur.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I was
He's a
surprised.
pro.
Usually
I was
the Kubashes
surprised.
have really good Christmas parties.
Kubashes do have
Get
excellent
there
Christmas
early
parties.
because the food goes. But they have the free bar that's all night.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go
I have
back.
that. We're not going unless they have that.
You're right. It's not a party unless the booze is free.
Oh, they got it good.
You need something really to celebrate.
So you want to go into Prop B?
Firefighters?
Yeah, you want to go to Prop B?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
We can go to Prop B. I can go into the breakdown of what the local Republican Party says the votes are, and then we can kind of. I got a couple other things to talk about.
We're going to talk about
What do you got?
Obama, man, coming back on tour. The
Right.
Obama tour.
Dadgummit. Producer Shannon making me actually. I'm sitting here just playing around, and she's making me go back to work.
Got to go back to work.
Gotta go back to work. Dadgummit. Okay, folks, we're back. We were just talking about city politics. We're going to go back into that a little bit more. Philip was talking about the firefighters, and I'd love to talk about, my dad's a retired firefighter, so I'm just exceptionally biased in Proposition B. But let's talk about Proposition B. Philip, what do you think?
I'm really concerned, and I try my best. I honestly do try my best not to say anything negative about our current mayor because he has a hard job. He signed up for it, but he does still have a hard job balancing the city and local issues. But when you pin in the firefighters against the police department, that just seems you can't do that. You can't have people battling whether or not who's more important, who does a harder job, police or firefighters. Should they make the same amount of money? Is Houston firefighters paid lower proportionately than other counties around the state? I mean, this is crazy. Who wants to argue or who wants to vote against firefighters? I think come Tuesday, 7 o'clock, when those early vote numbers hit, by the end of the night, I think the city's going to have a serious problem when the citizens who are most likely going to stand up with the firefighters. I mean, those guys...
I don't see how you can't stand up with the firefighters. I mean, if
Those
you're
guys run into burning buildings and save babies and your family
They're just
members.
everywhere. They're fearless.
I mean, you lose a cat in a tree. I mean, they're showing up.
Yeah.
Oh, what I say is, if I'm
They're not checking you out for ID. They're not asking if you got warrants. They just come to help. Other than
Right.
if you want to compare them to police officers, I mean, it's just crazy conversation to even have to have. I think the city's going to have to figure out a way to get the firefighters a raise.
So it's a heads. Mayor Turner loses. Tails, he loses.
Well, technically, it gives him an excuse to start laying off city employees and start cutting services.
But
So
if he does that, is he going to
he
suffer?
doesn't- he's going to have to do it anyway.
Is-
so the firefighters lose this battle, and they lose the proposition, and he doesn't have to give the firefighters a raise, and he still has to cut city services. It's going to look bad. So in my opinion, it gives him an excuse to cut city services, which the city has to do.
But if he does that, doesn't he suffer the potential repercussions that Anise Parker did, where when she started laying people off, she avoided a runoff from 2 unknown people by 800 votes.
Who's it? Well, you were one of those.
I was not one of the unknown people at that time. That was
I know who you're talking about. You're talking
Fernando Herrera and Jack O'Connor. Both of them ran.
Still 2 unknown people.
They spent a total of maybe 80,000 total,
I got you.
maybe 40,000 each, and they came striking distance
Right.
from
she won like 53% versus.
no, she won 50.01.
Okay.
001. She won by 800 votes. She avoided a runoff against people that had no funding because she became so horribly unpopular for a number of things. One of them included laying people off. So if he does lay people off, does he get around the area that he's vulnerable during this election cycle?
Yeah, I mean, if people's city services start to fluctuate, or people don't, not pick up the trash on time, or city potholes aren't getting fixed as quickly as possible, you're going to suffer that either way it goes. But I tell you, come February, March of next year, some city parks and libraries are going to start closing. I mean, it's inevitable.
Okay, and that's sad. That's sad that the city can't allocate its resources responsibly and do the things it necessarily needs to do. Instead of, every time I've ran for city office, I talked about how you got to do the basic things, do a good job at it before you start doing the ancillary things. Expensive art, those type of things.
Maybe you should run next year, Mr. Eric.
I don't
Can we
know.
talk about
There you
that?
go.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
And we aren't going to
I'm
talk
looking
about
at
that.
The producers.
No, I already got enough. I got no. But what we can talk about is so early voting's done. We've got all the ballot by mail, all the early voting's done, and I've got kind of a breakdown of the numbers if people want some intel.
This is an exclusive. This is an Eric Dick exclusive. We get like a theme music right there, like when you say something like that.
Well, it is exclusive. This is an exclusive. Okay, so a total of 852,000, 200 or 106 people voted. Of that, about 36.5% had some type of Republican history. 30% had no history at all, and then 33.18, about 33% had Democrat history. So, I mean, there's one.
That seems scary.
Well, but let's run with this for a couple times. This is for a couple different things. One is this is the highest turnout we've ever had for a non-presidential year.
This is countywide.
This is countywide. Nearly 1 million people voted. 852,000 people voted early, ballot by mail or early voting. And of that, 37%, some type of Republican, 30% none, no history at all. New voters,
See, that's the thing. I think all of the campaigning and locally and nationwide, it's getting people going.
I just don't know if Ted Cruz is out there registering people to vote, bringing out the vote. I think you've got to give a lot of that credit to possibly Beto.
I do give it to Beto, and I've always said that I do not think Ted Cruz is going to win Harris County. I don't think he has the right personality to win Harris County.
But he lives in Harris County. That doesn't seem fair.
And
his neighbors doesn't like him?
I'm not commenting about that. What I am commenting about is whenever he ran last time, 6 years ago, he barely won Harris County from an unknown person. Beto is known and liked in certain pockets. And in full disclosure, I voted for Ted Cruz. I'm a Ted Cruz supporter. But I'm saying that, that Ted Cruz is going to have some serious problems in Harris County. And, if I was like Sherry Dean, or if I was Roy Moore or David, Farr, I'd be upset with Ted Cruz because the whole reason Harris County's, changing, the whole reason Beto ran is kind of the result of Ted Cruz's arrogance.
So in your opinion, Republicans are in trouble in Harris County?
I think they are. I think they could be. I think, and some of that's sad because you have some really, really good Republicans.
Can we shout out some of those Republicans?
You can name names like Sherry Dean.
Sherry Dean, that's my people right there.
Sherry's a nice judge.
Dean,
she does the backpack to Fifth Ward every year.
Her and Judge Moore and Judge John Schmoody, Alicia Franklin York.
The family law judges are really good in Harris
Charlie
County.
Prime.
How are their Christmas parties?
Not nearly as good as Busby's.
They need to get their Christmas party game up, man. Now I think about it, that's an excellent. That's why she's an Olympic champion right here.
Sense of humor.
Thinks outside of the box.
So just going on politics, we got a little bit more, and then we can start going into talking about our fantastic guest. Is Sylvia Garcia. There's more information about her potentially sexually assaulting this poor woman. We got a video that I was showing the people earlier on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Twitch and Periscope, and I was showing them this video.
You know, it doesn't seem as bad, and I'm gonna get some backlash on this, but it just doesn't seem as bad when I guess the lady had a medical condition, and she just wanted a second opinion about it.
So backstory is Sylvia Garcia is a municipal judge. And one of the instances, the victim says it happened a lot of times. One of the instances is Sylvia saying she has a rash. She wants the victim to look at the rash in her leg. And the woman says, "No, I'm not a doctor. I'm okay. I'm all this stuff." Sylvia continues to take down her pants, show her the rash, and just kind of rub on her.
You have to say allegedly. You're the attorney, Eric. You have to say allegedly.
They've also changed with the anti-SLAPP law, and there's not such a tort reform has made defamation almost impossible to sue under. So and she seems pretty sincere. So what she says, I guess it is allegedly. I guess not very allegedly, but
I wonder, was the rash allegedly? Was it an alleged rash as well as an alleged pants removal?
But my questions are
innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, I guess innocent until. This woman seems like she really believes it. So, is it okay? Is it okay that there's no investigation, no nothing?
This is someone that's women do though. They go together in the restroom. They take restroom breaks together. I thought that was a woman thing.
I don't know.
We're not terribly
I wouldn't show any rashes to.
Well, strangers maybe not.
Is it something common? I'm not a woman. I do have 2 daughters. I'm married to a woman. I have 2 sisters. But Wendy, is it something common that women do? I got a rash. You want to see it? No, I don't want to see it.
Well, if you're good friends and you're at a restaurant or something, and then you're off to the ladies' room together, that's sometimes I guess how it would go. But again, you'd have to be pretty good acquaintances, I would think.
Not in a business environment, like it's a judge to a secretary. Hey, check out my rash. No, cool.
Not appropriate.
Maybe we should look at the bylaws of the company. Maybe that's a requirement that they give second opinions on rashes and strange.
Well, it's the city of Houston. It could be. It's the city of Houston.
Stranger things.
It is the city of Houston. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. It's the city of Houston. Okay, so another thing that's going on is. There's Erin Swanson. She's been running for a judge. She ousted an incumbent on the Republican side.
Oh my goodness!
A horrible, biased, corrupt judge, Teresa Chang, who was there maybe 10 years, and she's very experienced. She spent a large amount of money trying to fend off Erin Swanson, who did actually beat her in the primary. This is a gal. She's young. She's 32. She about 5 years of experience, just barely able to run. But there's still some resentment from the corrupt judge, and she's managed to prevent Swanson from getting some of the traditionally Republican endorsements. Now I find what's interesting is, it's more the business community. Why did they refuse to endorse Erin Swanson, who's young, who's 32, compared to some of the other people? And I'm wondering, is this sexism? Is this just straight up these business communities? And if she was a man, would they endorse her? Because they endorsed other people that were very young. Jay Carahan, his opponent, who won, they endorsed him, and he's a young guy. He's a great guy. I'm not dissing him.
Dan Simon.
So Dan Simon was endorsed by some of these organizations, but not Erin Swanson. So my question is, if Erin Swanson was a man, would these organizations endorse her? What do you think?
I think you have to say alleged corrupt judge.
Okay, alleged corrupt judge. Yeah, I'm gonna take your legal advice. I'm sorry, alleged corrupt judge. Yes.
That sounds better anyway too. It just gives it a longer name. But I don't know. I definitely think that. So did those organizations do a no endorsement?
No, they endorsed a Democrat. And what's wild is Harris County Republican Party is touting these organizations, and they're saying these are good Republican organizations, which is not really. They're endorsing Democrats. I don't see how they're. I don't see, and there's some serious problems with the local party.
Can we call some of these organizations out, or is that?
Oh, you can call them out all day
Well,
long.
I mean, people have a right to know.
Sure, like Texans for Lawsuit Reform, but they're a big business corrupt organization. C
What's
Club,
that big group?
C Club.
C Club.
Texans for Lawsuit Reform bribes people all the time.
Oh,
Well, they do.
alleged bribe.
Alleged bribe. They give money and
How
they
many
ask.
times do we have to tell you?
Okay, folks, we're gonna be back.
Let's take an alleged break.
I'm gonna
Alleged break.
Shannon's gonna allegedly hit me, so we'll be back, folks. Okay, we'll go into you next.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
I hope I'm okay because I don't know that much about politics.
No,
like
no,
I really
no.
don't like the national stuff, sort of. But
No,
anyway, I hope I'm not talking
No, we're having a great time. We're having a great time. We're just talking smack. That's all we're doing is talking smack. Giving stuff people to talk about.
You guys are so knowledgeable.
You take a shot at Texas for lawsuit reform every show, don't you?
Oh, well, I do. They take shots at me. It's only fair. They do take shots at me, so it's only fair. Only fair.
You can tell us about your how you got into what made you guys start the organization?
Sure. Yeah, I've been sort of doing it all my life. I stayed in coaching. Yeah, I'm glad to.
It's really awesome.
How people find out more information about it. As
That
well.
would be great. It's super. Like I said, I've got a small group right now. I'd like to see it grow. It's a very small sport. It's not. You see it every 4 years at the Olympics, and
People don't
it's
understand is
forgotten
how much you work at doing that.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. The conditioning, the fear
So,
factor.
did you receive a medal or anything?
No,
or?
I did on the world level, world championships. The Olympics, actually, frankly, I choked.
No, that's happened.
Yeah, and it was my first one competing, and you're 21 years old, and I mean you've been diving a long time, but still you get a little deer in the headlights, and it's whoever either has the most experience or whoever just has a darn great day. You compete against those world people, that field, for at least 4 years on the international circuit. You tour Europe, world championships, Pan Am Games, things like that. And so you're with the same field, so you're used to competing against them. But then when you get to the Olympic level, again, the cameras, the crowds, everybody sort of it can get to you. So it's whoever's got the eye of the tiger, I guess, on that day.
Or luck, or how you feel, or
If you've got your
slept
sick,
good.
I know.
All right, we're at the third segment, the final lap around for the Eric Dick Show. We've got a great guest, Wendy. She is just a great athlete. She is a world world champion? You were in the Olympics.
Right. Yeah. World Championships, World FINA Cup, similar to the Olympic Games, but again, not the huge publicity that the Olympics get every 4 years.
So, Wendy, tell me about being in the Olympics, because that just seems just so wild.
It really is quite an experience. You stay in a village. You usually get there about 2 weeks before the actual games start. The opening ceremonies is just crazy. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it on TV these days, what the production that they go into, and all the athletes go in and we watch the whole thing, and the closing ceremonies as well. So it's very, you stay in a village with all the other athletes. The best thing about it is I think that you've got all of the sports there. Everybody is sort of at their peak condition and mentally, physically within their sport, and you've got that in common. No matter from where you come, no matter from what country you are, it's just peace and that beautiful thing in common, that you just sportsmanship and you just want to do the best you can, and you're rooting for other people too.
Really? So you guys aren't like making faces at each other
No.
and elbowing each other when you're not hoping the other person breaks an ankle on the way?
No,
to the
well,
game?
no. Some of the girls do. The girls can be a little catty, you know. The guys are cool. But
Pulling Tanya Harding's here
oh
and
yeah,
there.
yeah. The old whack in the knee.
Asking you to look at their rash.
Never done that, and shan't. No.
So, you went to the Olympics, which is probably just an amazing experience. How long did it take you to train to get there to
Well,
be?
you know,
in the
I
Olympics?
was quite lucky. I did gymnastics for you. People, you know, wonder how you find out about a sport like diving and how would you start in that. And you know, gymnastics, cheerleading, dance, things that are sort of acrobatic. Anyway, I did gymnastics till I was 12. So when I came on into diving, I made the Olympic team when I was 14. So only 2 years of training in diving. After all the experience in gymnastics, the changeover was quite simple for me, and I was very lucky, and made the team as a 14-year-old. Now, that was the year 1980. Boy, am I dating myself. Oof.
80s were good years.
Well, there you go. Thank you. But it was the year that Jimmy Carter boycotted the Olympics.
Oh.
So that was the year we didn't get to go.
Oh.
And that was all right, you know. And my sister and I made it together. She was 13. But
She was a
you know,
diver as well?
Yes, yeah. But we had another, 4-8 years left in us to make another team. It was very difficult for a lot of the people I know and the older ones that it was their one and only Olympics. That was their shot. They made the team and they didn't get to go. So that was sort of, a political faux pas, if you ask me. It's supposed to be about the peace and the sportsmanship amongst all of the countries, and it was a bad call in my opinion. Not because I'm an Olympian, but just I think in general the whole auspice of the Olympic Games was sort of lost that year. Yeah.
So how many times have you gone to the Olympics?
Well, just once. I made 2 Olympic teams, but again, 1980 we didn't get to go. 84 was in LA, and I sort of choked at the trials.
Oh wow.
But and then made it in '88. Both
Do you
my
actually
sister and I
go?
did.
Do you actually go to the Olympics these days, even though you're not participating?
No, it depends on where it is. No, I would like to eventually go as a coach. That's my my dream. I've been coaching for probably about 25 years now, and that's my sort of next goal is to have an Olympian myself that I work with.
So how hard is it to even qualify for the Olympics?
It's pretty thick and deep. Again, the experience that you need to have as far as keeping it together in competition. It's not a team sport. I mean, you have to perform in a team sport, and it's a different ball of wax. But you're on show. It's just you. It's silent, and it's all you. And you've got 8 tries or 10 tries with different dives that you've got to do, and very difficult ones. So. Again, as I mentioned, it's the eye of the tiger, and it's whoever, comes out on top. But it does take an extensive amount of training. Diving's not a simple thing to do.
So you're training for this like every year for like so many years?
Oh, yeah, like 6 to 8 hours a day. Most kids now are homeschooled, the ones that want to really do it and want to go all the way with it. You've got other countries like the Chinese and they just train all day long, and then in order for Americans to compete against that, you've got to put the hours in as a kid, and that's what it takes. It's very competitive as far as skill and conditioning and that sort of thing goes.
So it's stuff you train for like 8, 4, so however many years before.
Oh yeah, at
Olympics
least 10 to 15 even.
Wow.
It's a big commitment. Yeah. It's not necessarily for everybody, but yeah.
So now you're kind of transitioning. You did that when you're younger. You're transitioning to what you're teaching. You're coaching for, diving coach. Is that what
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes. Yep. Springboard and platform diving, and I actually coach at Texas A&M University. So does my husband. Actually, he's a 2-time Olympic coach, Jay LaRue. And I'm doing the 18 and under. So what I'm doing is I'm sort of molding future champions. And some of those 18-year-olds can make the Olympic team now, and stranger things. It's happened. Usually the more, after college age, the 25-year-olds to 30 even can be a lot of people's peak. physically and mentally. It takes a lot of experience to go in there and keep it together and score the points you need on those difficult dives to stay in the pack.
If people want to find out more about what you're doing, how do they reach you?
Well, it's actually WLEREW. That's my name, Wendy LaRue, at raise yourself, AOL.com.
Oh my goodness.
There we go, the age thing
Oh
again.
my goodness.
Does AOL still exist anymore?
It does. We were big during dial-up.
Ah.
I was really cool back in the day with the dial-up thing.
Wow.
So they email you, Wendy.
Yes, that's the best way, and or Facebook. I have just you sort of have to ask to be friends, which is fine. And again, it's Wendy LaRue, LEREW. Yeah, and then
Do you have one of those dial-up phone things where you kind of?
yes, I do have a rotary
Wait
phone.
for it to roll back.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Those are pretty rare. They're probably could be sold for a mint.
Yeah,
Yes.
antiques for sure. I don't know if you could
Get some of those
work
at the bookstore.
You probably do have some of those at your bookstore. Phil. Don't you have any of those at your
I
bookstore?
don't have any of those.
Well, I can rent you one of mine.
This Wendy LaRue here. And, maybe get myself a Hotmail address as well.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Was that the second one after AOL?
Probably the SBC Global.
Oh yeah, that one.
So I'm just so amazed by the dedication you spent, like getting to the Olympics. I know you were in your early 20s whenever you went to the Olympics.
Yeah, about 21.
So you'd been training since you had to be training since you were 15, 14,
Well, yeah,
13?
12 actually, and then but in gymnastics it was age 6 to age 12, 4 or 5 hours a day after school. It's you have to have sort of a bit of a screw loose to do this. It's really time consuming.
Wouldn't say screw loose. You just have dedication. It's just something you feel strongly about. There's I think it's good that people feel committed about something and work towards a goal. And it's clearly you might have wanted to get a gold medal with the Olympics, but unfortunately you weren't able. But at minimum you were able to make the Olympics, which is so much more than what many people can say that they've done in their life. So, and it's just so amazing that you actually got to have that experience,
Well, thank you, Eric. It was an experience. The whole ride, the great friends I've made, and in the coaching ranks, a lot of them have gone into coaching after their experience as divers, and we see each other on the world deck all the time. We see each other at the pool, coaching for different countries.
What's the
It's
deepest
fun.
water you ever dived in?
Well, what you do is the tallest platform that we go off of and do multiple somersaults is 33 feet, so that's 3 stories, and you're required to have 17 feet of water to do that, because you hit at 30 miles an hour, you hit the water head first, so you take a lot of impact in your upper body. That's probably why I can't turn my head anymore. My vertebrae are all fused together. But it's quite the the experience, and the impacts off 10 meter are difficult. Now they have high diving, cliff diving now, which is 90 feet for the men
Oh, that's wild.
and 60 feet for the women, and that's a big thing too. The Red Bull World Series Tour.
Have
is a
you
big deal.
done anything with the cliff diving? or-
Actually, I coach a very, very good girl. She actually holds the record. She's brand new. She went to Texas A&M University, and her name's Jessie McCauley, and she's on her way to compete in the World High Diving Championships actually next week.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, and she's good, and she holds the world record for the highest scoring dive, the most difficult dive for a woman, and the highest scoring one. She had straight 9s from the judges, and so proud to say that I've sort of broken in the high diving ranks, and hopefully that'll be in the Olympics someday soon.
How young do you go as far as coaching?
How young as a coach? Well, while you're a diver, a lot of times you start
saying,
coaching.
how young will you go? 12-year-old, a 10-year-old?
Oh, excuse me. We start them at 6
Wow.
and go to at least 18 to 25. Yep.
Well, that's great, Wendy. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back for the final segment. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was fascinating.
Hey, is it true what they say with the water? Like, it's almost like diving into concrete unless you do
Yes.
it right. That's real.
Yes, you hit at 30 miles an hour, and if you're not going straight in, you're going like that. You get impacted. You get smacked around. Like honestly, my back and neck hurt. You know, springboard divers do okay. They're 10 feet off the water. It's not that serious, but you know, the higher the 3 stories up
So
there.
when you really doing this little arrow thing, you really breaking that water.
Yeah, you're doing like.
Hey guys, feel free to call in 713-212-5950. 713-212-5950. We're going to be taking calls.
And try to go in with no splash. It's detailed.
Right.
And there's a fear factor involved. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm
for
scared of
everybody to
heights.
go up there. Yeah.
I wouldn't even go up to the 30 feet.
Oh yeah, you need to stop by and come do it. Stop by.
Jump off with my eyes closed, maybe.
Yeah, then you don't know when you're gonna hit the water. So it's like, what you do, you have to be a little bit. I mean, I don't mean you have to have schools to try to train to be an Olympic athlete, but diving is just sort of, you know, you gotta be a little eccentric, I think, to hurl your body off that height and sort of pray that you land well.
I gotta ask, how do you feel about Larry Nassar in the U.S. Olympics?
Oh, who?
Larry Nassar?
Why don't I know that?
If he's like
That's
some type
silly.
of pervert. That's
Oh,
what I'm hearing.
good heavens, no, I'm not aware of him.
I
Which is
what?
good.
Oh,
Are you serious?
he's just.
Oh,
It's
oh.
like, that's
Oh,
one of
is
the
that
comments.
what
It's
they
just a
call
comment.
him?
No, it's just a comment.
Oh,
It's a
I
comment on the
see.
social
Okay.
media.
Oh,
It's Chris. Chris sometimes he's on the show too.
that was that. So he's being funny.
He's just wondering.
Oh, that was Chris that said that?
Yeah.
Tell him I said I can handle it. I'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Yep. We're back. We're back for the final segment of the show. We had a great show, great guest, Philip. You got anything going on with your bookstore?
Oh yeah, actually, bookstore's going really well. We got some huge sales going on. So we just did a big sale, $2 kids books, $2 and under kids books. So we got like 6,000 or 7,000 kids books that we just trying to almost give away. And then we got like nonfiction, fiction books, $4 and under. We got like almost 20,000 books that we're just doing for $20 and under, just to you know, it's not about necessarily trying to make a bunch of money. We're really just trying to get people back into reading, traditional reading, just grabbing a book. You know, I know audiobooks are pretty popular. People like Kindle and stuff like that. But you know, even having your kids watching you read and read them stories as well.
I agree. It's
old
brain
school.
exercise, and
Brain exercise.
it's such a shame that it seems to be that books are becoming a lost. And it's so fast how it's progressed to where things are online. It's computers. And, yeah.
But where's
for you.
your store at, Philip?
We're at 3314 Lyons Avenue, so we're about a mile and a half on the outskirts of downtown or in the Fifth Ward area.
And this is just like a cool little place where, you know,
Hang
you
out,
can-
got a couple couches in there. Hopefully you don't just read the book and then put it back and,
well, they're too
and leave.
cheap, and you might as well just take it. $2 a book.
$2 a book for a kid's book, $4 for regular books.
Great for Christmas, goodness.
You're right.
Yeah.
Huge. Got a huge religious section in there. We've got some legal books in it.
You know, I'm just going to see me sneaking around. That's where I get my books at, is Phil
Yeah.
Paul Bookstore.
And they have the definition of allegedly.
Right.
I need to get blacks.
Allegedly $2 kids book.
I need to allegedly get a Black's Law Dictionary. Philip's gonna highlight allegedly real big for me. You want to say this? You don't want to say it? You say alleged.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, but you know what's more interesting is that you guys should make sure you guys are following Eric Dick on the Facebook. You'll see me on there. I'm all over his page. But make sure you follow Eric Dick on Facebook. But on my page yesterday, I don't know, Eric, if you checked it out or not, but I put 2 different Obama speeches on there. He was in Florida campaigning for Andrew Gillum, and then he was in what was the other state? Was it Alabama?
I'm not sure. I watched the Florida one though. and
Yeah,
that was neat.
so Eric, if you need me to, I can tag those to your page.
That's all right. That's all right.
Uh-oh, you're gonna go at it.
You can tag those to your page, man.
I'm cool. I appreciate it, but I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good.
You know, you may lose a couple of followers, but
And then maybe a couple brain cells too. Oh.
Too late.
Alleged brain cells.
So what do you think of the, if we're gonna talk politics, since that seems like what you want to do, what do you think of the Beto versus Ted Cruz? Let's go on that.
Man, I like Ted Cruz. I met him several times. Beto seems to be pretty sincere. I actually had some serious concerns about the DWI and the flimacine. Once I did get past that, just looking at the issues. Just as a conservative Democrat, I'm a registered Democrat, precinct chair. If the Harris County Democratic Party's listening, I did say that I'm a Democrat.
You also said you were watching Obama, so I think they got that figured out.
They call me in the meetings every so often when I endorse people like Sherry Dean and Roy Moore. They have a sit down with me at least once a year.
And yell at you, what are you doing?
Yeah, have me read the oath again. But,
allegedly.
The alleged oath. But the cool thing about someone like a Ted Cruz, you don't have to worry about restroom issues, LGBT stuff creeping up into to the schools and to the public life. And so that is one thing. That is one thing that you kind of do have some assurances about. Taxes. You gotta pay taxes. They're gonna build roads. They're gonna have to fund the schools and stuff like that. So taxes isn't that big a deal. I'm a tax guy, so I know how to get around it if they try to tax me too much. But with Beto, even though he does have some good ideas, I do think teachers should be paid a fair amount. I think it's just what's more important to the individual voter. I think there's a lot of excitement out. Every year they say this is the most important election of your lifetime, and every year we go for it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if the actual voters show up, not just in Harris County. Texas is a lot bigger than Harris County.
It is very large.
It's one of the biggest counties in the country, but it's still a lot more Texas, and so I'd be very interested to know. Or some of those increased voter trends, in some of those rural areas where, they don't necessarily have Facebook, they don't have, they're not on Instagram all day, it's a lot of rural area in Texas that Ted Cruz has a lot of support.
That's what you think that Ted Cruz would win. And I'm actually a Republican, elected trustee for Harris County Department of Education.
I'm going to take the fifth on what I am.
I don't blame you. I don't
blame
blame you.
Even here.
But just my response only is that, I think Ted Cruz shouldn't lose. But if he does, then why did he lose would be the question. And my fear is just that he has not been as personable as he should have been. And I think another race to watch is Ken Paxton's race. That's another race where I don't know why.
Wait, so Ken Paxton isn't in jail?
He's not in jail. They're all alleged crimes that he allegedly committed. And they aren't like Tom DeLay crimes, and I know Tom's actually a really great guy. They aren't alleged. They aren't like the Tom DeLay crimes, which got dismissed, or the Rick Perry crimes that got dismissed.
Oh, I like Rick Perry. Man.
I do like Rick Perry too.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah, well, you better deny that because you're a Democrat precinct chair. That's not his guy. It's his alleged guy.
That's my alleged guy.
I like everybody.
But okay, so. And you don't
SEC violations. That's what it was, right?
FCC.
SEC.
Yeah, SEC. It was him. So for Ken Paxton, it was he was getting commissions whenever he wasn't licensed, and that's a little bit different than the Rick Perry thing.
That's
Was
not that big a deal. It's not DWI.
but it's kind of
It's
worse.
sort of a big deal.
No.
I don't know. But so is it? That race is one.
I thought it was some
Interesting.
insider trader stuff that he was involved with.
It's that too.
Oh. Allegedly.
Allegedly, that too. Yeah. But it's about 3 counts. This case is the case has been going on a long time, and I don't know, man. I think he's the most vulnerable out of them all. I really do, and maybe it's just me being an outsider looking in, but I think my fear is, and of course I didn't vote for George Bush either. I couldn't vote for George Bush. I can't.
All Bushes aren't bad.
How did you? I'm not. Did you allegedly support George Bush? You like allegedly?
No comment.
Oh, my family was fought in the Alamo. I can't support him. He wants to get rid of the Alamo. I wonder how can I tell my how can I go to Christmas with my family and say, oh yeah, I support George Bush. Well, aren't you a Darst?
Actually,
Aren't you a
Dick has
Tomlinson?
an awesome Christmas party as well.
We want to be quiet.
You're
We want to
all
be quiet about
invited.
that. No.
Oh,
No.
man.
Shh, shh, shh. We don't have Christmas. We don't know what Christmas is. Shh, shh, shh.
And there's no allegedly Tony Busby party.
No.
but That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Got Tim on the grill.
Yeah, Tim does a good job.
Took him down at Phil Paul's Barbecue.
What's going on with your barbecue restaurant?
And we're opening up on the 16th of this month. So November 16th. We're going to come talk about it. Maybe even get a couple of sponsorship plugs in between some of those Dick commercials.
Eric, that's Eric, Dick. Okay.
Can't you say your name by itself? I got you.
Okay, I'm trying to keep a straight face here, folks. Trying to keep a straight face. Okay. So a couple other things I had kind of here to talk about. Texas windstorm. I'm a homeowners insurance attorney. If people are having problems with their insurance involving property disputes, they're welcome to go to my website, www.dicklawfirm.com. You can add me on Twitter @DickLawFirm, Instagram @DickLawFirm, Facebook @EricBDick, or just any other social media. I'm on probably them all, and I do post these videos of us being here at AM 950 on all those social media. I just saying that as a level of background, people where they can connect with me. Just reminding people that I am a homeowners insurance attorney. If they're having problems with the storms from Halloween, feel free to call me. I do free consultations. I represent people on contingency fee. But anyway, now that I got my shameless plug with me, so there were some problems with Texas windstorm. They requested a hike for liability limits, basically to increase their liability, and it was denied. And we're gonna have to talk about that next week, folks.
Can we talk about city elections next week as well?
Oh, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff next week. If you guys want
I'm
to
an
get
alleged Bill King supporter. Allegedly.
allegedly, okay, folks. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. I really appreciate it. Thank you, producer Shannon, as always, for doing a great job. Wendy, I really appreciated you being here, and Philip Albright. Shout out to Chris Carmona, who's having a great time, probably in China.
China. You gotta say like
China.
Donald Trump says it.
China.
China.
Thanks, folks. Next week. China?
China.
Okay. So we're going to end. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. See y'all next week. You have a great day. Done with that. Okay. And all my other ones. Where you guys at? All my social media friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. We had a great time. I'll see y'all next time. Hit me up on message me if you want to talk about stuff for the next show @Dick Law Firm, or if you see this on Periscope @Dick Law Firm. Thanks, folks. You have a great time. Great weekend.